question is this: what does a client want from a consultant? Anyone? What does a client want from a consultant?
Solution for the problem.
Yeah, definitely. The solution to the problem that they are posing. Thank you. We understand that the world is changing every day, and if the earlier consultants could easily be advisors, what we see at present is that clients require, and they do, contract hand-holding subsequent to the consultancy assignment. What is meant here is, if earlier people asked other consultants or other people to advise them on how to proceed, and they would be doing most of the tasks associated with implementation of the solution proposed. Nowadays, it is not like that. It is more of getting involved in the transformation process also. That is the hand-holding highlighted here. It is not that you have to handhold the client for free. Many clients will pay for such handholding also. So it is kind of win-win situation, because the consultant also gets involved in the implementation of the solution which is proposed, so that the consultant can direct how the solution is getting implemented and see to it that it is more or less effectively done. Now, consultants also like to have something in the longer term in an assignment. Most of the consulting companies are not in the field of consulting as non-commercial organizations, but they are really commercial organizations. And commercial organizations definitely want to have something to show for their efforts. Their stakeholders always want value addition. Now, how will you do that? So what can be thought about is, nowadays the kind of options which a consultant can get is not just limited to the direct remuneration. In certain areas like technical consulting, in certain other areas like restructuring, you can see that organizations are even offering stock options or revenue sharing. I'll give you a small example. In the field of energy efficiency, which is a technical area, there are firms which offer consultancy services to organizations for improving their energy efficiency. There are such organizations which also extend other kinds of support, like implementing such solutions which were proposed earlier by themselves, which leads to improvement of the energy efficiency figures of the client company. And they ask as a return, not direct payment. They ask as a return on their investments through a revenue sharing arrangement. That is, whatever savings has resulted, they will also show you how to determine that. Based on the savings translated into monetary terms, that is into rupee or dollar or whatever terms, they will ask for a percentage from that. So the client also gets convinced even before they start out that the consultant can deliver. So it is again a win-win situation. Situations like this were not possible earlier. These are all new business models which are evolving with the evolution of consulting. Such changes are also happening. What I want you to understand is, don't think that the monetary part of assignments are very limited. You can also have novel ways of coming up with these revenue sharing arrangements or whatever. So there also you are finding that consulting is evolving from what it was earlier. Then look at the client-consultant relations. In certain cases, especially with the advent of outsourcing, what has happened is we will learn about it a bit later, something called retainership. That is one model on which consultants can work. What is happening is client-consultant relations can get converted to short-term employee-employer mode. There are problems also, but there are certain advantages in certain cases. So the kind of engagement you have with a client is again very much open to innovation. That is what I wanted to highlight. We will explore further avenues in this later on also. And the basic concepts on which consulting is developing are also changing because of the way businesses are changing. For example, businesses are now transnational. Earlier, if somebody was saying that a small business house in Kerala could be a transnational, probably you would be called mad. But if you look around just in Cochin, you will find that there are a number of business houses which are really transnational. How is this possible? The possibility has happened or has become reality because of the changing business world. Now it is much, much more easier to establish such business concerns, extend it overseas, have business structure which includes other firms in the broader area of your business as partners. So all this has been made possible, and this is being leveraged by businesses to increase the value. And consulting is one area which cannot remain insulated from these changes because it is with business organizations that consultants deal with. So this is also impacting the way we are practicing consulting. We will have a small video about this later on. Since it is almost 12:30, I will be stopping for today. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So in the next class, be prepared with your presentation.